Making sure we're live on everything. Okay, we're good to go. We're good to go. We are good to go. What's up with everybody who is in here from YouTube? How we doing? We got a national championship game going on right now. We got that live view. We're gonna go ahead and throw this graphic on the title. And yeah, man, listen, Ja Morant, he just got fined. We got the top female rappers. We got that list that just dropped. And we got Diddy. We got the situation between him, and we also got a couple people with the interviews between Vlad. We got some Joe Budden content on the Adam 22 situation where he's saying he's going bankrupt on a few things. We have pretty much academics whack everybody. Vlad talking about it. Chris Brown and I was doing some deep connections. Chris Brown was trying to tell everybody, hey, don't come up to my concerts with I think black flags, not black flags, a red flag says, Pyru Big Greasy, Chris Brown, he, apparently he represents, I don't know. But I looked into it a little bit and did a little bit of research, and I was thinking, I'm like, what's really going on with that, right? So I went ahead and checked it out. What's up, Day in the building? What's up, Shakiri in the building? Yeah, we in here from YouTube, man. We got people in here all day. We got a national championship game going on in the back, but I want to talk about, like I said, the Ja Morant situation because he just got fined. We also got the GOAT female rappers list that just came out. I think Billboard released it. Best female rappers of all time. So I kind of want to go down that list. Wander 427 in the building. What's up, Brick City, man? In the chat. Yep. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everybody, I'm trying to pace the show out, break it down, break everything down. But I want everybody to come in and, get your popcorn, get you something to drink. I know I played music first 30 minutes of the show, but when everybody pile up in here, when everybody get in here, like I said, Shakir, the moderator, the homie, you already know we in the building right now. Therapy Radio, what's up? Like I said, I'm saying the front without the like button. Salute to everybody in chat, and we're gonna get, like I said, we're gonna get everything started right now. Let's go. Yes. We're gonna play this one instead because you know how they do. So here we go with Gil's Arena talking about the situation. And, they got a round table and everybody. So we're gonna go ahead and get this audio going. Now, for everybody that didn't see it, I'll stop show real quick so you get caught up. This is what he was doing right here. If everybody can see, let me make sure I got on screen. Let me put this on wide screen. Yeah, let me get this. Let me see. Where's the comment? Okay, yeah. Okay, so Ja Morant got suspended. With guns in the club, guns in the car. NBA young, Ja running around here. Ja Wick running around here with the piece. And I'm going to play this for a little bit so you guys can see what was really going on here. Give me a second. Here we go. Pointing, yeah, and pretty much taking it back over here. I'm going to let you. Mind you, this was a home game, and I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna switch back to this. This was another situation here, as you can see. But so Buddy Hield pointed finger guns at Ja Morant first, and then he shot back. Last night they're having an imaginary shootout. So let's just, it's live coverage, hey, look, like I'm just, we're just delivering the news, you know what I'm saying? You're just delivering everything and just showing you everything in real time. But this was kind of like the full clip, just to add some more perspective of the situation. No audio, but as you can see, I'll point it out. I'll pause right here. Buddy Hield, this guy right here. You can see his fingers. Can you see Buddy Hield's fingers right there? Just making sure everybody, keep up. Doing it again, just to make sure we can all, And Ja Morant. Like, look, like, this wasn't even that serious for real, man. Like, this wasn't even like things got too far and too heated. I'm going to shoot you. It was like, bro, come on, bro. Like, come on, bro. But let's go back and switch it back to the OGs, let them give us some game. Hold on. Hey, guys, can you hear the audio? Okay, you can't hear the video. How long have you been? Let me see. What time? Okay, you can't hear the video. Hold on. Let me see this. Let me reload and then start it all the way back. Let me reload. You have audio now?
You can carry guns, right? And he go on there shooting hogs and doing that. That's fine.
He's hunting. Absolutely, it's legal.
He's not in the strip club dangling a gun.
I'm talking about the perception of this. Listen, of this well-known athlete in this city where gun violence is prevalent, right? In Memphis, Tennessee, we got kids out here dying in the streets daily. People putting switches on guns, dudes drive-by shootings. All these things exist in this city where this particular guy plays. These kids look up to him.
Okay.
They looking at it, he's glorifying. That's what they looking at it
the
as.
kids are doing it now.
So they're trying to nip it in the bud as much as they can for this particular city, this particular athlete that people are glorifying.
So you can go out there and go hunting and
yes,
same
that's
thing.
and
that's
yes, it is. But kids ain't dying in the street
in Texas.
We talking about in Memphis, Tennessee, Gil.
You're penalizing me because of the city?
Yes.
So you can go out there and hunt and shoot shit. I get in trouble for laughing in my car. No, you see how that is
in public with a firearm.
And you're shooting wild animals in the
You're in public with a firearm shooting shit.
But you
like you're literally endangering something because somebody can walk by and get shot by that.
No, that's not how hunting happens, bro. That's not
hunting. That's not
how it happens. People don't walk by and get shot.
So, Gil, you have
nobody got shot in hunting.
Are you not recognizing what I'm saying?
I'm recognizing what you're saying. I'm recognizing you're using something that has nothing to do with how he is portraying it.
These are facts.
Well, who is portraying it?
These are facts I'm talking about, Gil. Go look at the murder rate in Memphis, Tennessee.
We can look at the murder
rate. You look up everything else. Go look up the murder rate in Memphis, Tennessee.
If he was in a different market, this would be handled differently?
Yes.
I don't. I think it's a culture thing. Like I said,
culture thing and the city. Yes, all of it is.
It's music. It's music. It's influence. All of that.
Yeah. So if he was
young dog, biggest thing in Memphis, nigga, Joe is, dude. Joe got it, brother gets shot. It's dog. It is a real thing down there.
I understand.
Right?
I'm like, why are we?
Who else? Someone pulled out the gun yesterday too, right?
I don't think it's fair to him.
Who pulled out the gun yesterday?
Who?
Okay.
Somebody pulled out a real gun?
No. Somebody did the gun.
Jinski, I think.
Cool. He plays in Golden State.
He ain't getting. They actually said
he ain't never been in trouble.
Ja got fined $22,000 for just he ain't fined nothing.
No,
he ain't never been in trouble.
Did he get warned?
He ain't never been in trouble.
That's his point. He never been. There ain't no back. It does.
Wait,
just like Draymond. We was just talking about the Draymond shit. He has a reputation.
Only for Ja.
It ain't even. They told him be careful.
Stop.
I think they should just be like, no more.
To everybody.
I agree.
You can't just point out somebody because
I agree, but somebody has to be the fucking poster child for it.
If this is what you're gonna do, just stop it all.
Somebody has to be the poster. Absolutely.
There's
That's like
5 billion celebrations.
That's like the NFL said. They didn't say CeeDee Lamb, you can't do this no more.
Right.
They said it's
everybody.
They got to
So I'm with it.
Ban
if you're gonna stop one, let's stop them all from doing it.
Because they look like they're picking on Ja.
No, they ain't fucking picking on him.
They are picking on him.
He gave them ammunition.
He gave them bullet. He literally gave them the bullet. He gave them the bullet.
So they picking on him. So they fined him $75 for nothing.
Because they're picking on him?
Did they fine him $75,000 for nothing?
Did they give anybody the warning? Did they give Pozinski a warning? They gave Buddy Hield.
Why did they suspend Ja? Why did they suspend Ja Morant?
Why did they give Ja the warning?
Because him and Buddy.
No. Why did they give him the one? Fuck Buddy.
Yeah. Why did
we talking about Ja Morant?
Why did they give Ja? Why did they give Ja?
Because if it's why did they give him warning? Because
he has a history.
Because he has a history.
So exactly.
So why not Buddy?
But he don't have a history.
But he got a warning.
He doesn't have because he did it with the guy.
That has history.
That has the history.
You see how you picking and choosing what you want?
No.
It's the same thing.
No, it's not.
Not until
a first-time offender. A first-time offender, Gil. Me and him in the car to get pulled over. I ain't never been to jail. I'm a first-time offender. Kenyon is gone because he done been. Like, we gotta take him.
If you don't,
I ain't been.
If you don't like
if you don't like one person doing it, then just ban it for everybody.
I agree. I'm saying yes.
Yeah, I don't know why they're not doing that.
But that's not the case.
Because they're trying to make.
They will eventually, but
they're trying to make an example. And it's not working.
The person.
So what are they gonna do?
Well, Kenya's saying they're not trying to make an example. He's put himself in the example position. They not making
it's just like
he did that shit.
It's just like the Shaq and the Fool shit, right? It's like the Shaq and the Fool shit with JaVale, right? But he picking on me. No, he not fucking picking on it. You giving him the material. It's the same thing with Ja. You're giving him material.
But the only reason why I'm saying they're picking on him is because they don't like Ja doing it.
No,
they're not saying that they don't like the gesture.
Because he already got in trouble.
Ja doing the gesture.
Because he got in trouble.
But if they really felt so passionately about it, like how y'all were talking about it, promoting violence and all that, and you don't like the gesture, then you ban the whole thing.
If you don't like the gesture,
yes,
right.
So don't
we wouldn't be. But we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you.
But we are.
We wouldn't be here if it wasn't.
I literally, you know why I say this bullshit? I literally watched the Olympics.
Get him ask you a question.
We watched the Olympics.
I have a question for you.
This man did this. The whole fucking world did it.
Okay,
it was fine then. But if Ja would have did it during the same period, you got white little kids doing it. You got Asian kids doing it, pointing the gun at people.
So let me ask you a question, Gil.
It was fine.
So was they picking on you when you took your ass out there and did this? Was they picking on you?
Y'all remember that shit?
Who? No fucking league. No. Was they picking on you?
No.
Why? You gave them the material, right?
Yes. So because I had an aggressive,
wait, no, I got you.
I had an aggressive gun thing. It does matter.
Gil, was the public? It does matter. But did the public feel that way?
It doesn't
matter. Did the public feel that?
They wasn't picking on you. Gave them.
Did the public feel like they were picking on?
I had a pup. This was between me and another person. This is an aggressive.
If you would
action,
and
right?
This wasn't.
That we talking about.
That wasn't. No, I was mocking them. Right. But what I'm saying,
but he said he asked him, was they picking on you for doing that?
I'm saying my gun issue itself was an aggressive act.
My question.
Ja's thing wasn't aggressive. It's no different than anybody else. It wasn't an aggressive act.
He's talking about the second thing.
And then we have this article here from Yahoo Sports. This was the original breakdown that I was trying to play earlier, but now we have the official, Vincent Goodwill and Tim McMahon from ESPN. Let's go ahead and play the live coverage of Ja Morant getting fined for doing nigga shit.
We are both going to be in Dallas for Luka Doncic's first game back in Dallas since being traded. What is the number one thing that has stuck out to you since you've processed this whole thing, just beyond the trade itself? Is it the secretive nature of how it was done, the fact that they didn't engage other teams, that Dallas only zeroed in on the Lakers and Anthony Davis? Or is it the way that the relationship seemingly had frayed leading up to it with the conditioning and the poor habits and everything else, that Dallas seemed to believe no matter what he does, he won't be able to lead you to long-term sustainable success?
Yeah, I think it was the fraying of the relationships. And especially, look, this was Nico Harrison's decision first and foremost. And, he managed up. And the fraying of the relationship between Nico and Luka, I don't think this trade happens unless that happens. And Nico was pretty aggressive in making some personnel decisions with support staff that were going to alienate Luka. When you fired Casey Smith, a strength coach, a massage therapist, but people that are the franchise, a guy who did not seek Cubans.
All right, fuck it. I think this is some bait shit. So anyways, let me just go ahead and just read this article out to you guys because these niggas tripping. Let me go ahead and read this article out to you guys. The NBA is not out to get Ja Morant, no matter how much he tries to make himself a victim of his own reputation. We can't even begin with his game winner in Miami on Thursday night because he's seemingly hell-bent on making every step of his comeback hell. The same day he was warned by the NBA league office about his gun gesture, along with Golden State's Buddy Hield, whom he pointed at, Morant unleashed the same celebration on national TV and was subsequently fined $75,000. Think about that. The league office, Morant's boss, conveyed to him that the celebration was unacceptable, and then he repeated it hours later. This isn't about a mere gesture. It's about wanting a marquee player to recognize what's in front of him and not to be self-destructive and undo his own on-court excellence. Either he's so impulsive in a competitive setting he can't control himself, or he wants to thumb his nose at the league as the rebel, or he's simply clueless. One would hope it's the first stance instead of the last two, but he hasn't earned the benefit of the doubt from the public yet. If Ja versus the league, go ahead and see if you can win that battle. If that's who you want to die on, it's not the biggest hill in the world. If Morant was actually carrying a weapon on the floor, but for the mere fact that we're at this place, it feels necessary. He says, I'm kind of used to it. Morant said in Miami, I'm pretty much the villain for 2 years now. So yeah, I don't care no more. You wonder if Morant feels himself against the world, but it's really Ja versus Ja because far more people want him to succeed than fail. But his statement seems to indicate he thinks otherwise. The NBA is the league that has to deal with the calls from the critics about its workforce being too black and thus concerned with scaring off the eye-rolling customer base as it and it has the most player-friendly commissioner in the four major professional sports in Adam Silver. And this is who Ja Morant wants to go against. Make it make sense. Make it make sense, man. And going down is like or maybe he wants to rail against the pervasive gun culture in the United States or collective obsession with war and guns. He could put all the focus on gun-like celebrations happening around the league, making himself the martyr. Perhaps he can lead the conversation because he's so very uniquely, qualified. It isn't about the NBA's hypocrisy because It's Morant who had the issues with the guns, not the player celebrating the gesture. It's a different time from when Kevin Garnett talked about loading up the pump, loading up the Uzi, ready for war, and referencing a Game 7 in 2004 playoffs. He wasn't fine then, and it didn't cause a huge ripple in the sports landscape. But seriously, when's the last time we've seen Ja Morant as a collective, the NBA viewing public? The last 2 All-Star weekends, the Olympic Games, the playoffs? No, no, and no. He's been absent. And this is a point that I really want to talk about right here. When they said, when's the last time we've seen Ja Morant on the NBA stage? We really haven't. Ever since the little gun stuff. And I know last year he got hurt, so he really couldn't play like that. But to be honest, was on the Olympics, was in the playoffs. Hopefully they get to the playoffs this year. Wasn't an All-Star weekend, so it's like is he blackballed? I'm not gonna say no, but I can say that maybe his injuries have came at a bad timing. And then, on the biggest stages, when there's other players that are less problematic, then they're going to put them in front, especially when they want to put them on an international stage. So like he said, he's been absent on the league's biggest stages where the public perception can change quickly with a string of consistent performances and game winners and poster dunks. Another point I wanted to point out too with Ja Morant, somebody else who I think goes through the same thing as LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball is one of the most talented players in the NBA and has been one of the most talented players in the NBA that I've ever seen. And this was a game winner by Ja Morant. And
so they can they can switch everything, which they did. Morant goes on with step back, and it goes! Ja Morant wins it for Memphis.
And I'm a Heat fan, but that was still crazy.
I mean, this isn't easy. Where does
on a big man?
Ja was able to create.
Hey, that's why Ja Morant's box office.
Introducing the all-new.
Time and time again, Ja Morant's box office. Like they just said, Morant has some highlights for sure. That when he's good for when he's available, but then enduring memory of him is on Instagram toting a gun, or rather testifying he beat up a teen in his backyard. It's been a long time since we've been able to associate him with the electrifying plays or the charisma. It's been nonsense. His brand in recent years has been, one of a gun-toting player flirting with the gangster image. 3 years ago, Morant did battle with the eventual champion Golden State Warriors in the playoffs, dropping 34 points, 37 points, and another 34 points in Jordan Poole. In the first 3 games of that series before injuring his knee, which ended his season, it seemed like an announcement that the Grizzlies were on the way up and ready to smooth out the rough edges and take hold of the West. It really did seem like that. The path has been anything but smooth since then, even though there's still some time to get back in the prosperous place. He appeared in just 40% of the Grizzlies games, 56 of the last 140 since the start of last season, largely due to injuries and not suspension, to be fair. And that's why I said before I came out to this article, I'm like, being an NBA fan and, watching it pretty closely, Ja Morant, I can already see he hasn't really been one to, get suspended. So he doesn't have a reputation of just get kicked out of games and move out. Bam. That's not what it is. What it really is to me when I'm looking at it is just like Ja Morant is hurt at a key time in his career where he needs to clean up his image, but he hasn't had the opportunity. He's already in a very small market where he's not going to get certain looks, not because he doesn't deserve them, but because they just have a small market. So those games aren't going to be televised. Like even that Miami game that was televised wasn't something that was, how can I say, like nobody knew that. That wasn't something that was going to be on everything. But I'm going to pause real quick because I want to go through the comments really quick. Come back to live chat. Salute everybody in here. Please hit that like button. Hit the Cash App, $ Florida Boy J904. Super chat. We got everybody from Twitter in this motherfucker. We got people from Twitch. We're in the building. Black McBain said we got to do something about this white on white crime. Amen. Talk about it. This is a prime example of ignorant nigga. He knows what he's doing. Fine, suspend his dumb ass. He's ignorant. Crazy niggas taking up for him. Hey, Carlton, you see that thumbnail I got? Hey, man. Hey, I got that Ja Wick thumbnail, man. Listen, we doing some cool things with the AI technology, doing the cool things with the so if anybody want to back out and look at the episode and come back and look at the thumbnail for this show, hopefully, you know, it can track some viewers and shit. It was a pretty dope thumbnail that I cooked up for this episode. Nothing burger. Yeah, I'm telling y'all. It's gonna do Plaxico burgers. Yeah, okay, y'all are talking about the guy named Kenyon Martin and Gilbert Arenas shit. Yeah, fuck right. Yeah, Ja Morant might not be an all-star again. I'm right with you, Wander. Ja Morant be playing around like they might blackball his goofy ass, bro. That's my guy, you know what I'm saying? And just going down just the situation a little bit. Let me see if they're gonna tax niggas here.
On this episode of the gun gesture pointed towards the Golden State Warriors bench, which, by the way, Buddy Hield and Ja Morant got double technicals for. So this is another not great thing for Ja Morant. He coming off the 25-game suspension, which was coming on the heels of an 8-game suspension for gun gestures on social media. This just seems like, Dan, this has been not a great season for the Memphis Grizzlies. And it seemed like a month ago, Dan, this was like
I'm pausing this, but for people on Twitter, let me know if y'all like the thumbnail for this episode, man. Let me know if y'all fuck with this thumbnail for the episode, man. Hey, salute to YT Bully checking in from, I'm gonna try to pronounce it, Guadalajara, Mexico. Salute. We are in the building. Thank you, man. I appreciate you tapping in, man, from Mexico down south, dog. Yeah, man. Hey, so this thumbnail is pretty dope. So I just want to, you know what I'm saying, tap in, let everybody see, you know what I'm saying, we cooking up. Let me show you on the full screen. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we let me see if I can take this banner down real quick. Give me 2 seconds before we get back to the show. But yeah, man, I think this was pretty dope when I cooked up this Ja Wick shit. I think it was pretty dope. Hopefully, like I said, we can get some views, some comments, we get some real fire shit. Yeah. I'm saying, dog, hey man, we cooking. We was cooking, bro. We was cooking with this. one. I didn't want to make it like what's the word? I didn't want to make it like too like violent or make him look crazy, but I want to make it look like kind of cool, you know. So this was dope. But back to these guys right here. Let me go ahead and remove this off of here. Let me see, add this here. Hold on. Remove, add, bow. Back to them breaking this down a little bit more.
Predicated on spacing and relocation by Noah LaRoche. And now Taylor Jenkins is gone, Noah LaRoche is gone, and another assistant coach is gone. And now we have another cloud of controversy around Ja Morant. Dan, my question to you is, a couple weeks ago, Zach Kleiman said at the trade deadline that, no, we are not trading Ja Morant, and kind of Ja Morant is back in the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. Dan, do you believe that? Do you believe that it's a fantasy to suggest that Ja Morant would be traded, or do you think they may have reconsidered things given how the coaching change has happened and how this another incident has happened and
talking about you doing that? What are you talking about? So yeah. It's like you've the Streisand effect. You've invited more focus on the issue by loudly proclaiming you wouldn't. Listen, Luka Doncic got traded to the Lakers in the middle of the night. Everything is possible. Nothing is. I mean, everything. We live in the realm of fantasy. Who knows? There's going to be dragons flying around soon. Certainly, the way things have gone over the last 6 weeks, maybe even a couple of months, would suggest that all is not well in Memphis. Before we even get to Ja doing finger guns, which if I can, just like a public service announcement.
Yeah. So we already know that prior history is going to impact in the same way that guys will be suspended for altercations if they have a history, even though if Rudy Gobert and Draymond Green are getting in an altercation, probably Draymond is going to get.
They were just breaking it down and just talking about how this goofy ass nigga, Ja Morant, pretty much still fucking it all up. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to see if we can get one more coverage. I really like this podcast, Club 520 podcast.
We love y'all for sure because we came from Dreamville early.
One dude got so excited he forgot this password to his phone.
It's too hard.
Yeah. Cause motherfuckers got to wait in line, so the least you could do is be nice. It just looked different. The floor looked different up there.
I didn't know we was at a festival. Off the subject, we had to talk about. We was there for the Hot Boys performance, and me and you was going back and forth. But who got off wilder shit in their songs? Mm-hmm. Over there, that's what.
Oh yeah, where he went here? Where Tom at?
I grab Eric Bill. Shout out, buddy. When you remember when nigga came up to his pants fell down. He whooped Ludacris ass in that pants. But his shorts was on his ankles. Now, what's the homie you met with the old Depot jersey on?
Yeah.
You put up?
I'm working on it. Like, that's not. Well, you was never.
That's all right.
Okay.
My dream house.
On a 1400 screw. I'm talking to Mike. I'm PE.
But that baby innocent, bro. Take care of that baby.
All right, these niggas ain't talking about it either. Goddamn. Oh, shit. Uncle Shay, my guy. Hold on. He got it.
The Grizzlies are 0-3, but when he's playing, he's sensational. It is.
Yeah.
And so I just think the thing is, like, look, I mean, you hear talk at one point in time, they thought he could be the face of the league, and now they talking about can they win with Ja? Is he better as a second option? Or are they gonna move Ja? I'm like,
second who?
A second option.
Second option of who? Second coming to Christ? Man, stop playing, man. Let's not
get carried away with it, Ocho.
And they get a little carried away now. And I don't understand the game of basketball like that to the extent of you and George Sedano and Doris Burke. But I know goddamn well he ain't no second option to nothing unless you talk about Christ.
Wow. Joel Embiid would undergo orthoscopic surgery on his left knee next week. Embiid ruled out for the season and late.
Pretty much one of the main things I want to read to before we get off the topic, because I really was talking to Gronk. If you know it, it's kind of like a app on it's an AI app to like have conversations with on Twitter and everything. So one of the questions that I asked it was, is American society hypocritical for judging Ja Morant, knowing how prevalent gun culture is? So I'm going to get this last little bit of video out.
A few hours later, Ja showed a blatant disregard for the league.
That's not Hunt. That's not how
it happens. People don't walk by and get shot.
So, Gil, so you have
nobody got shot in Hunt.
Are you not recognizing what I'm saying?
I'm recognizing what you're saying. I'm recognizing you're using something that has nothing to do with how
I'm going to play a little bit of this, grab some water, come right back.
He is portraying it.
These are facts.
Well, who is portraying it?
These are facts I'm talking about, Gil. Go look at the murder rate in Memphis, Tennessee.
We can look at the murder
rate. You look up everything else. Go look up the murder rate in Memphis, Tennessee.
If he was in a different market, this would be handled differently?
Yes.
I don't. I think it's a culture thing. Like I said,
it's a culture thing. Yes, all of it is.
It's music. It's influence. All of that.
Yeah. So if he was
young
somewhere
dog,
else,
biggest thing in Memphis, nigga, Joe is, dude. Joe Gotti brother gets shot. It's dog. It is a real thing down there.
I understand.
Right?
I'm like, why are we?
Who was? Someone pulled out the gun yesterday too, right?
I don't think it's fair to him.
Who pulled
but
out the gun yesterday?
Who?
In the game?
Somebody pulled out a real gun?
No. Somebody did the gun.
Jinsky, I think.
Cool. He plays in Golden State.
He didn't get. They actually said
he ain't never been in trouble.
Ja got fined $22,000 for just he ain't fined nothing.
No, he ain't never been in trouble.
Did he get warned?
He ain't never been in trouble.
That's his point. He never been. There ain't no back. It does.
All right, so I want to make sure I'm here, and we're gonna do this. We're gonna see how cool this. We're gonna see if we can get this cracking. All right, we can watch the game. I'm gonna go ahead and break down what I was saying to Gronk. All right. I asked Gronk a question. I says, is American society hypocritical for judging Ja Morant, knowing how prevalent gun culture is in America, right? Gronk responded to this, right? That's pretty much what they were saying. He said, the question of whether American society is hypocritical for judging Ja Morant, given the prevalence of gun culture in the United States, is a nuanced one that touches on culture, legal, and social dynamics. Let's break this down with the context provided in some broader analysis, right? Context of the Ja Morant situation. As we know, Ja Morant is a star player for the Memphis Grizzlies. He was fined $75,000 by the NBA for making a finger gun gesture during a game against the Miami Heat on April 3rd, 2025, despite prior warning from the league, right? Make sure you guys can still peep the game. We're going to put it right here. We're going to do it something like, make sure we don't want to get any violations. We don't want to get any violations. Yeah, Gilbert Arenas be having some wild takes, man. Gilbert Arenas be having some wild takes. But yeah, if you guys can, kind of peep the game right there, you know what I'm saying? We can simultaneously see if we can double do. Can we? Yep. That's as good as we're going to get. Let me see. Yeah, that's as. Might be able to run it like this for a little bit. But I'm not going to take any chances. Let me see. Nah, fuck it. We'll keep a comment up there. Yeah. Yeah, so you already know you got suspended. That's pretty much giving a breakdown of people talking about it. So this is about American gun culture. And I'm going to show you guys pretty much this breakdown of Gronk. Let me see if we can open up a conversation. So you guys can kind of read with me right here. Take this off. So, just so we won't be distracted from the conversation about Ja Morant. American gun culture. The U.S. has a deep ingrained gun culture as highlighted in the web results. Historian Richard Hofstadter 1970s article, American Has a Gun Culture, describes the country's long-standing affection for firearms, rooted in its revolutionary and frontier history, as well as its cultural myths around guns in both historical and modern contexts. Political scientist Robert Spencer notes that this culture stems from the proliferation of firearms since the nation's founding. This connection between personal weapon ownership and historical survival, i.e., hunting, militias, in a permissive regulatory environment, the United States is unique amongst developed nations for its high civilian firearm ownership and relatively high levels of gun violence. Traditions of hunting, militias, and self-defense, particularly in rural areas where shooting skills were often a rite of passage, further cement this culture, even in African-American communities. As the web results mention, gun ownership has been tied to self-defense and cultural movements from the civil rights era to the Pan-Africanism. Deeper question, pretty much. And, if everybody, is enjoying what we're doing and what we're talking about, and you guys, can you hear me? We back live. We live in here? You guys, you still see me? All right, cool. Making sure you guys can see me, because I just came back to see, I see this comment right here. I was making sure. Stream went down. Okay, so we're back. And like I said, if everybody wants to read along, because this is a conversation, we're not just gonna throw the Ja Wick fucking graphic up and just watch everybody, talk about it. We're gonna have, a real breakdown, because my main thing in my head when I wanted to have this conversation about Ja Morant, I'm like, okay, is what he's doing really so terrible? Because like I said, are we celebrating gun culture, or are we punishing it? Is this something the NBA wants to stand on or something, or is it something that it's coming like from like a higher up? Is it maybe it's because he's from Memphis? I'm just trying to understand for a little bit. Let me grab my phone. Let me see. We're still live? Like I said, everybody on YouTube, maybe, y'all things are kind of, slowing down. So I'm just going to double check. But like I said, my main thing is I see what's going on with Ja Morant, and I see what we're all saying. And I'm not really here. Oh, I see what happened. Hold on. We're going to have to restart stream. So we're just going to go ahead and end this and come back.